Okay, here we go then. The last race of the day, it's all to play for. Race 2, it all comes down to the next 14 laps. And away they go. Now, and there's Darren spinning out as well. Darren, there's contact there, push Kieran wide. Oh, but he's gone off. What's going on? Shane's also there in the BMW. Oh, nearly loses it. Kieran's going to have to slow down. No, he's gone too much. It's Josh here, and he is leading. This is fantastic for Josh. Oh, a bit of a love tap. And Josh, oh my God, who's going to take it? I think it's Darren. I think it's going to be Rob. Rob gets it. He's actually on the grass. This isn't good for Tom. And he's made the move. Look at that. Through Eau Rouge. Oh, that's Mike. Mike's gone off. Oh, Craig sideways, big time. Is it going to be enough? No, Sam takes it and takes the title ahead of Tom. Here is your grid then for race 2 here at Spa. Craig Kellett is on pole position for the first of the Nissan GTRs for Elite Racing. Team Parker Racing's Darren Parker in the Renault Megane is next to him. K-Tech Subaru WRX of Tom Foster is on row 2 next to Stephen Heath in the Subaru WRX. Row 3 sees Mark Nichol in his Renault Megane next to Rob Pellet in the second of the Elite Racing Nissan GTRs. Row 4 is K-Tech Subaru WRX of Kieran Thomas next to the Mazda Atenza of Joe Burrows, and at the back row of the grid is Josh Hardy in the Renault Megane, and of course Gary Black doesn't start the race as he has some technical issues. Okay, race 2 then. At Spa, Craig is on pole. Can Darren snatch a win away from Craig? Both of them decided to stay on the soft tyres. Tom and Heafy on the hard tyres. So Craig gets a good start. Darren obviously bogs down a little bit. And Darren and Rob running wide. Oh, Darren nearly spins out. Whoa, lucky to actually hit Heathy there and stay in contact. There's Tom and Heafy going into Eau Rouge together. Whoa, there's a little bit of closeness. That was crazy going into Eau Rouge there with Joe and Josh. Bob goes ahead of Joe into 8th. So, oh, that's Kieran going a little bit wide there. And oh, Kieran actually hits Tom slightly. So the two are together, and Kieran is now behind Heathy and gets ahead of Heathy. So Kieran very quickly making some headway up to the front of the grid. But Heathy's going to try and get past, and actually Kieran runs wide. So Kieran now just ahead of Stephen. Tom's just behind. A little more contact there. Heathy runs a little bit wide. More contact. Further up, Josh is behind Darren in 3rd, Darren in 2nd, and Craig, looking at, is doing really well. Tom very close to Heathy. Joe behind Mark, and Rob at the back at the moment. But relatively clean and tidy for now. Here's Craig. Look at the lead he's already got. Very comfortable so far. So this is where the action is. Much further down, Heathy and Tom again, as they go into the chicane. And Heathy slightly wheel spinning his way out, and that's allowed Tom just to get a better exit. And it looks like Joe is side by side with Mark as well. Oh, a bit of a push there, but Joe goes ahead of Mark. Good run for Mark. Looks like he's got the toe and he's got the slipstream behind Joe in the Mazda, so he's side by side with them now as they come into the S's here. He runs a little bit wide. He's on the green stuff again, and he nearly loses it like he did in race 1. So he gained the place and then had to give it back as he ran wide. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Nothing too bad. A bit of push and shove isn't too bad in this. Contact is allowed, but it's just door rubbing, bit of argy-bargy, nothing more. Oh, Heathy really close to Tom there, but let's go on board with Rob, who's at the back end of all of this as it really starts to develop. Heathy runs wide, so Heathy is struggling on those hard tyres in the Subaru, and Rob's got ahead of Stephen. Joe really close on the back of Tom as well now. Oh, Heathy, a bit of a push there. Pushing Rob into the gravel, but oh, Heathy running wide himself. So look how close Joe is on the back of Tom here. Into the chicane they go. Very clean, very tidy, and onto lap 3 then. Further down, Kieran is looking to catch Josh. But of course the Subaru is slightly underpowered and it struggles down the straights, really good round the corners, so it was strong at Bathurst, tight twisty corners round the mountain, but when it comes to the long straights here he's struggling. But saying that, it looks like he's got the into the slipstream of Josh, and it's appeared to catch up with him, so Kieran is on a mission and has had a really strong start here. Could he get a podium or even a win? So Joe's got past Tom now. Joe knocking down the bollards. Going into the corners, so Mark is behind Tom. Tom running wide, and this back end of the pack here is settled, but looking like it's going to be close all round to the end of the race. Heathy here behind Rob. More bollard hitting, everyone's doing it, so the stewards won't be looking at that. Heathy runs a little bit wide, really pushing to get past Rob, and as we said Kieran is catching Josh, and look at him now, he's right on the back end, right on the tail of Josh. So Josh, who proved to be strong here at Spa last season in the same Renault Megane, is now under pressure from Kieran for that last podium position. Josh, who nearly won his first ever race back in season 1, has had a multitude of wins so far this season, so it's a different kind of fight here. And look at that, those two are literally back to back going up Eau Rouge, and Josh slipping and sliding everywhere on the grass now. He needs to get off the grass, otherwise he'll end up spinning out into the corner. It's a fantastic race so far between these two. It could be entertaining all the way through. Further down, Joe's just still ahead of Tom. Mark Heathy now ahead of Rob, so that's settled as well. Tom's not doing too bad on the hards. Some struggle with the hards a lot more than others. And I can imagine that the hard tyres will be a lot more manageable in a four-wheel drive car than it would, say, a rear-wheel drive. So, guys are just about coming up to lap 5, and Kieran and Josh are super close now. They've been at it all the way around the circuit. This is definitely going to be one to watch. Craig is still ahead of Darren, but by some distance, so Darren is going to struggle to catch up with Craig. Let's watch the two here as they go into the first sharp hairpin, and a much cleaner entrance and exit from both of them. Now Josh normally wheel spins out of that corner, one of his weaknesses, and Kieran normally takes it way too wide, ends up drifting round, so really good for both of them there. And Kieran slightly getting Eau Rouge wrong, but still on the back end of Josh here. Look at the, gets given him a push. I say there was a good exit there, but Kieran deciding to go against going on the outside of Josh. Further down, Joe's still ahead of Tom on some distance, and Rob just staying patiently at the back here. With no Gary around, it's one less car to think about, but seeing if you can put the pressure on Heathy, who was very strong in race 1. Took a good 4th, now struggling on those hards. Here's your leader, Craig. There's Darren. So still fair distance behind, and Kieran's just fallen behind a little bit from Josh. It's given some breathing space to Josh. He can relax a little bit, but no doubt Kieran will push and put the pressure back on as he catches up. If he could do it once, he can do it again, and you can already see he's making some ground up here into the chicane onto lap 6. It's a good exit. Look at that traction that the Subaru gets. There's Joe and Tom, and these two still fairly close together, but nothing drastic is developing now. Now Heathy has got past Mark, so this is becoming quite interesting to watch as Heathy gets a good exit, but Mark is very, very close behind. I imagine that these two will be having an interesting dice through Eau Rouge. Here they go then. But Heathy's got a good exit, so Mark is unable to keep behind him too close as of yet. In actual fact, it's Rob catching Mark, so this is good for Rob. And the three of them now are very close. And Rob has got a great exit. So further up, Tom is still behind Joe and not catching so far Kieran on the back end of Josh. Kieran running really wide there to get the maximum exit. Look at the difference it made as the two come into the chicane to go on to lap 7 now. And it's still Josh who's staying as the front runner here and is defending very well. But he's under a hell of a lot of pressure from Kieran. And Kieran's got a good exit there. Look at how close he is. Oh, in actual fact, Josh rubs the wall, and that's unusual. So Kieran gives him another bump. He's not going to try to get through Eau Rouge. He's going to maybe unsettle the car. Look at how on edge that Renault is through Eau Rouge. Oh, there's a bit of a tap there. So, whoa, unsettled Josh. I think there was a tiny bit of contact there, but Kieran decides to let Josh continue on. Tom on the back of Joe still. So Heafy now with Rob and just behind him. So Kieran's still fighting to get past Josh. Josh gapped again, so it's almost like Josh is very quick around the midsections and Kieran is quickest at the first sector and the last sector. Craig has gone on to lap 8 now. So just 2 laps left round this long historical circuit in Belgium. There is Kieran exiting the corner then, so we're going to keep an eye on this fight for the last podium position, a third. See if it develops any further. Again, Kieran, a great exit out of the corner. He's got such speed. So he's gone on the inside of Josh. Can he do it? It looks like this is Kieran's perfect opportunity. No, he's not got him. So he's basically got back behind Josh. I don't think he's quite committed enough. And Josh still ahead. Kieran falls behind. Joe's still ahead of Tom. And look at this. Rob has got a great run on Heafy. So can Rob get past Heafy? I think he's got him. Runs a little bit wide. And the two very close here. Bumping and barging. So some great racing. And Rob's got another opportunity here. I think Rob's got Heafy. Look at this. It's fantastic stuff. Literally side by side, almost round every corner. Now Heafy runs wide. Catch up with Kieran and Josh. So, yep. So Kieran and Josh are still at it, but Josh has actually got a bigger gap again. So, Kieran late on the brakes, and look at them. The distance is made, so looking good for Kieran, and he's got the last opportunity here to get past. Back further down is Rob and Heafy. I think they're side by side. They are. So this battle continues. This is fantastic between the two. Whoa, Rob nearly loses it. So Heafy's got an opportunity. He's on the inside. two go into the chicane together, and a push from Rob. Oh, look at that. This is incredible stuff. So the two are so close now. Are they going to go through a row together? No, Rob backs off, so Heafy gets ahead. Further up then. Josh is behind Kieran, so Kieran's got ahead. And Josh has got an opportunity here. Kieran's holding him off. They're coming down to the last sector, and I think Josh has maybe lost it somewhere. And see, hits those bollards. Oh, he's gone into the gravel and he's spun. So Josh spins it. Josh loses his cool and he spins. So Kieran's gonna most probably take third then. So Craig Kellett takes the win. Quite far ahead of anyone else really. Darren coming through the chicane. Darren was closest, but a lonely race for both of them really. And after a fantastic race between Kieran and Josh, it's a real shame that Josh just lost it. Kieran comes away with a well-deserved and strong third. Josh, unfortunate to take fourth, but still put on a really good fight. Joe has been consistently good in the Mazda to stay in fifth. So Joe takes a strong fifth ahead of Tom, who just wasn't able to catch Joe. 7th and 8th is still, look at this, Rob and Heafy are still at it. And they both run wide. Heafy takes 7th, Rob will take 8th, and Mark caught up and takes 9th. Let's watch Josh then. So he's behind Kieran here, and he actually just hits the bollard wrong there, and it's just pushed him onto the gravel, and then the back end spun out, goes into the tyre wall. On board with Josh. There it is, that's the bollard that just pushed him. Craig takes another dominant win then for race 2, just ahead of Darren. Kieran takes a strong third. Josh is 4th, Joe is 5th, Tom was 6th, Stephen was just ahead of Rob after that great fight, Mark was 9th, and Gary of course didn't even start the race. What this means then for the points in the championship: Craig goes up to 436, Darren is on 355, Tom is 3rd still with 290, Mike still in 4th with 270. Mark and Josh are equal now, 5th and 6th with 260. 7th is Sam, 240 still, Rob 8th, 201. Stephen and Kieran are also equal on 187 in 9th and 10th. Harry has been is 11th, 159. Joe is 12th with 156. Gary on 90 still as he didn't race. Chris and James still on 28 and 27. In the teams, 737 for Elliot, 656 for Parker, and K-Tech on 600. In the independents, Mark on 380 now, Mike still 2nd with 363, Josh 3rd with 350, Stephen in 4th 281, Harry still in 5th 259, Joe on 229, Gary, Chris and James didn't score any points.